we have long since passed the days, at least to some degree, of where the ladies in wrestling are just mostly there to serve one purpose, which is the eye candy, the sex appeal to the horny men and the frankly horny women too, role in wrestling. Like, we have moved past that. Have we really though? Like, now you watch, just because they get featured more and they have more matches and they're taken more seriously on the one hand, like they sometimes act like and dress like certainly fucking OnlyFans models. Like, I mean, come on. But, we are long removed from the days where you would have maybe one women's match on a show, one women's match on a pay-per-view if you were lucky, and the only reason you would consider yourself lucky if it was there was because that was the designated piss break, and that's what it was. Like, let's not make it out to be anything other than that. And you'll even see this kind of clouding the way folks look at the WWE/F of the past. When they talk about how great Trish was and how great Lita was, let's be realistic here. For the majority of them ladies in that time, it wasn't about the in-ring action, folks. Stop trying to make it about something that it fucking wasn't. Like, I was not a fan of Trish Stratus because of her in-ring capabilities, her promo skills, or anything else. She was the rare example of milk that I wanted. Mwah, 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 mwah. She was thick as shit. Like, come on. Come on. Let's be honest about shit, right? So, in some ways, it is good that the business has evolved past that. Now, you could sit there and ask yourself, like, has the business been helped by this, been hurt by this? Not really the topic of today's video, because you can make an argument for both there. You really could. But what I'm talking about here was something I saw on Twitter and then other people kind of respond to and parrot over the past 24 hours. Somebody made a post, and I forget who it was on Twitter, so forgive me for not citing them here, but somebody made a post basically talking about it's been 5 years, which is kind of a weird way to phrase it, but it's been 5 years since the WWE, or 4 years, excuse me, since the WWE has had a match with women main event WrestleMania. Which is technically true, right? Go back to WrestleMania 37? It was Sasha Banks and Bianca night one main event. I think that's true, right? So it has been almost 4 years now. So it's been almost 4 years since a woman has, or women in a match have main evented a night of WrestleMania, and the argument being, well, there's 2 nights of WrestleMania. Why is it so hard to have the women main event one night and the guys main event the other night? And the short answer to this is because in many cases, they don't fucking deserve it. Like, fuck this artificial equality bullshit. True equality is you get that spot because you earn it, you merit it, you fucking deserve it. And let's not pretend like this is the wrestling business of old, the TNA of old, or the WWE in particular, specifically referencing here of 15, 20, or shit, even 10 years ago, right? Like, you can't sit there and say that it's because of a lack of opportunity, a lack of space given for ladies to be able to show what they're worth, to be able to put themselves into this spot. Be a totally valid complaint in the past, like, well, they're not given the opportunity, they're not given the chance to shine. They're given plenty of chance here. And more often than not, the shit's just not fucking good enough. Now, you'll see people post shit like this, and it's usually like mad at the world feminazis, or even worse, more detestable, the pussy whipped kind of men that will sit there and post this shit thinking that that will lead to ladies being more likely to fuck them, when the whole fucked up part about it is, and they're too stupid to realize this, is it will make them less likely to get fucked, because now you've given a lot of women that you think that you're coming across well with, you're going to give them the fucking ick. And ask the ladies what the fucking ick is. You're going to be like, well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Well, welcome to the 21st century in dating women. What the fuck do you expect here? No. You don't sit there and artificially manufacture and force this shit. It's bad enough that you do it with Money in the Bank and the Royal Rumble. And you can say, oh my God, what are you saying there? I'm saying sometimes shit like, do they really have enough talent to necessitate a full 30 women Royal Rumble match? Do you fucking need that every year? I'm just saying. And now it used to be the Royal Rumble would be one Rumble match, and now every year it's just got to be fucking two of them because you got to have one for the guys and you got to have one for the ladies because that's what's fair. And we live with that, right? Same thing with Money in the Bank. But when it comes to fucking WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year, one of the biggest events in entertainment every year, by far, the biggest happening in professional wrestling every year, by a country fucking mile. We should be above, well, we got to sit there and just make it equal. One spot for the ladies and one main event for the men. Nah, fuck that. It should be full meritocracy here. That's what equality's supposed to be. It's bad enough we talk about equality and then so often in our society we don't fucking get it. Let's not artificially make and create the illusion of equality in our wrestling when that's anything but. Here's the reality. If the women are good enough and you have, let's say you have two stories, two feuds, two characters or multiple characters, and you have the possibility for matches that are main event worthy, stories that are main event worthy, characters that are main event worthy, and they have to be women, and you have enough of that for them to main event both nights and they deserve it, then they should main event both night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania. I don't think that should be a controversial take. It's Mania. It should be your biggest and your best and your brightest and your baddest. Like that's what should be anchoring the show night 1 and night 2. Not the, oh, we got to give the chicks night 1 or else everybody's going to fucking be pissed off. Who the fuck would even say that? Like, it is so stupid. Like Sasha and Bianca main eventing night 1 of WrestleMania back in, was it 2021? That worked because that story, the potential for that match, the whole layout of the show that year, those ladies fucking deserved that spot, period. They deserved it, period. But if we look ahead to WrestleMania 41, there is not a single women's match that you could point to and say, my God, the characters, the story, and skip-de-skip and whoop-de-woo necessitate and justify a main event spot. Are you out of your fucking mind? Let's just throw this out there for a second. Let's say you've got, and they go down this path, they want to do John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the championship. That's main eventing night 2. And then you've got any potential, let's say, of Roman versus Rock or Roman versus CM Punk, let's say. You're not main eventing one of the 2 nights with Roman, especially if it's against a Punk or against The Rock. What are you going to fucking do? Who are you going to put? Tiffany Stratton against Charlotte Flair? Are you out of your fucking mind? Come on, man. And the whole complaint here is just complete and total bullshit. I can't believe they didn't put the women. Like, what the fuck? Like, you go back a couple years ago, and you had, let's say, WrestleMania 40, this 2024. I gotta remember we're in 2025 now. 2024, WrestleMania 40. That was all bloodline shit. You had The Rock was involved in both matches, both nights. You had Roman, you had Cody. There ain't no fucking way that those 2 matches weren't main eventing that show. The fuck are we talking about here? Then another year you sit there and you've got freaking Austin, Roman. The matches they're involved in are going to main event both fucking nights. What are you even talking about here? Like, that's insane. Like, you've got Austin main eventing night 1 and Roman and Brock main eventing night 2. Or you're going to force one of the women's matches into that fucking spot. Fuck that bullshit. Now, if you want to take this as like a challenge to the ladies in the business and in the WWE and to the WWE themselves to create a pathway where it makes more logical sense for women to be able to merit and basically demand even the night one main event of WrestleMania. Cool. I'm all for that. Fucking champion that. Push for that. Fine. But let's not sit there and feed into this illusion of equality when you're just forcing that shit. That's not cool. That's crap. And all you end up doing is creating a situation where your WrestleMania show is lesser because of it. This is not any other pay-per-view. Even one thing if you were making that argument to say like, hey, the ladies should main event a few more pay-per-views here or there, you could probably get away with that. But when you're basing your WrestleMania week, it's not even just a weekend anymore, right? It's a week. And you're charging thousands of dollars for weekend packages of tickets for fucking nosebleed seats. There is a pressure there, a demand there from the audience, an expectation there that you've got to really deliver the biggest possible bang for the fans' dollar and their time and their travel. And throwing Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair and forcing them into night one main event ain't fucking doing it, homies. So no, the women aren't entitled to a fucking main event spot every year. Just like, frankly, technically, the guys should not be entitled. This should be survival of the fittest type of the best get it. It's merit. That's what we should want. That's how it should be. Because when the product is like that, that's when it's at its best. You got it kind of cutthroat a little bit, but super competitive, and everybody's going out there to be their absolute best. And not just at the flips and the bumps and the shit that really doesn't draw any fucking money, but being characters and telling coherent, interesting, engaging, compelling stories. Not sitting there lollygagging their way, half-assing feuds and then trying to get cheap pops in their fucking matches because the only way they know how to get it over is by fucking being reckless as shit and damn near putting themselves in a permanent paralysis situation. Again, women can main event WrestleMania if they deserve it. In the past couple of years, for different reasons, they didn't fucking deserve it. Accept that. They didn't deserve it, and frankly, the options on the men's side made inherently more sense. And if you were a businessman looking at the WrestleMania cards of the past couple of years, and at any point in time you thought any of those matches that have come since Sasha and Bianca at WrestleMania deserved a WrestleMania main event, you're fucking insane. And eventually there's going to be some dorks that'll post like, Charlotte versus Mommy. If you thought that match was any fucking good to begin with, you're insane. Furthermore, if you think it was one of the greatest Mania matches of all times, you're a lunatic. And if you thought they had any fucking business main eventing either night one and night two of WrestleMania, put down the crack pipe. Let's give the ladies the opportunity. But let's also put the pressure on the ladies to fucking step up and deliver. No more free rides. No more just being handed shit. Give them the pathway and they either sink or fucking swim. Fuck this. I can't believe they just don't get one of the two nights. Well, if it's such a problem for them, maybe some of these ladies in WWE, frankly, should get better at their fucking jobs and force the company's hand. Because until they do, the guys are going to dominate both nights' main events, and there should be no reason for anybody to complain about that.